everyone, I'm Hannah and this is my first attempt at a YouTube video. So why am I doing a YouTube video? I wanted to talk about ear stretching, all kinds of things about it really. I've seen that there's a lot of videos, FAQs, websites, blogs, all kinds of things on the internet. There is no set way, there's no rules about how to do it, what to wear, or what to use. So it's kind of about finding what works best for you. I have, however, seen some kind of bad advice online or things that have not helped me in my journey of ear stretching. So what I wanted to do was basically compile everything that I've found through trial and error and reading into a little video to see if it helps. So where do I want to start? Probably first of all, one of the questions that I read a lot online is people asking what is the point of no return. So in other words, how big can I stretch my ears before they won't be able to shrink back down again? If you're asking this question, you're probably not the best person to be stretching your ears. You should see this as a permanent change, something that you should be wanting to live with for the rest of your life. You are going to change your ears if you do it. I would say if you go up to maybe an 8mm and back down again, you'll almost be back to where you were. I did go up to an 8mm and then let them shrink back down, and they were almost the same. They were slightly loose, but almost the same. I have heard people say anything up to a 14mm will allow you to shrink back down. From personal experience and from people I've known going past an 8, I don't think you're likely to get back down to a standard ear piercing size. For example, I stretched up to a 12. I had some problems with my ears, so I tried to let them shrink, and I probably got back down to maybe a 3mm, which meant that I couldn't wear normal earrings again. So just be sure that it's what you want to do if you're going to do it. Try not to have in your thoughts that you will want to shrink them back down. You can go for ear reconstruction, but that's not something that I'm too knowledgeable about, and it's not something I would recommend people having in mind. The question you might be asking yourselves now is, why have I stretched and then shrunk and then stretched and then shrunk? The first time I stretched my ears, I used tapers to do it, which is a method I think that is commonly used. You can buy tapers from anywhere. I've never come across a city that doesn't have a shop selling acrylic or steel tapers. If you want to go down that route, I think that's fine, but I don't think it's the best way of stretching your ears, and I'll tell you why. When I use tapers, I found them uncomfortable to wear, and I often found that my ears were really sore, and trying to move the taper through my ear was often quite painful, even if I tried to take it really slow. I often find they feel quite top heavy, especially when you start off with the taper, and they can stick in you a little bit when you're sleeping as well. Stretching shouldn't really hurt. It shouldn't really cause redness or goopiness, and I was finding I had that a lot. Maybe just me as well, but having a taper in my ear always gave me the temptation to sort of push to try and get it through a bit faster. And the most important thing with stretching is to take it slowly, really, really slowly. It's not something that's going to happen overnight or even within a few weeks. It's going to take a long time to do it properly. So personally, I just never really liked the tapers. Every time I decided to go up a size, I sort of dreaded it, and I was always really, really uncomfortable. So yeah, once I'd reached a 12mm, which is actually the size I'm at the moment, I was often wearing a lot of acrylic jewellery, sometimes titanium, but yeah, a lot of acrylic. So I should show you some of the jewellery I used to wear. They're quite nice, they're quite cute. You get a lot of different designs available to you. I hope that's visible. My ears were always really sore. I started to see it as a lot of high maintenance, always was uncomfortable sleeping, and in the end I took them out and let them shrink back down. Now that I have changed the way I've stretched my ears and have changed the jewellery I'm wearing, I don't have any problems. My ears are so comfortable and I really, really love them. I think I will be going a little bit bigger as well, actually, because yeah, I just feel really happy with my ears now. So what have I done differently? First of all, I used a different method to stretch with. I actually used what most people call the taping method. There are different types of tape you can buy, and I'd probably recommend Googling the different types of tape because I've only used one of them. So I'll tell you about the type of tape I've used, but I don't really want to go into detail about the other types available. This is just bondage tape. You can buy this online or from like adult shops. It's really readily available. It's really cheap. I mean, you're looking at maybe £4 or £5 for a roll, and this stuff is going to last for ages. I'd be amazed if you got through this. So what is the taping method? What is it? It's quite fiddly, but also very simple. You just get in your earring. Don't know if you can see that there. That's one I made earlier. Yeah, you're basically just going to want to cut a little strip off on your tape and wrap it around your earring. So now your earring is a fraction wider than it was before. I was putting on 1 to 2 strips of tape 1 to 2 times a week, depending on how loose my ears were feeling. So as you add the tape over a period of a few weeks, your ear will really slowly stretch, and then you reach your next size. When your ear feels comfortable, you can just repeat. And it's a really gentle way of getting your ear up to the next size. And it also does sort of save money on jewellery because you're not having to keep buying new jewellery every time you reach a new size. I mean, your jewellery will last until the next size and then you can buy a size up. So yeah, this worked really, really well for me. I had no pain, no discomfort, and there was no goopiness or redness or swelling. And I found it really easy to reach my next size. And as I say, the tape just lasts for such a long time. So then once I've reached my size, I'm wearing different jewellery as well. I mean, previously I always wore acrylics because I found it really hard to get flared jewellery in my ears. And you'll find that a lot of wooden, stone or glass jewellery is often flared. I would always recommend to people now to wear wooden, glass, bone, stone jewellery, jewellery made of more sort of natural materials, because it is just better on your ears. I can really notice a difference, and I don't actually have a problem getting the flares in now because I think because of stretching in a more gentle way and because I've sort of taken more time with my ears have really sort of loosened up, and I find it quite easy to get flares in and out. You may have to buy different size flares depending on how stretchy your ears are, but your ears do tend to naturally sort of loosen anyway. I mean, now I think my ears are probably even a size up because I can get these in and out so easily. I think they've actually loosened around the earring. But wearing like the glass earrings, I just haven't had any problems. My ears are really, really comfortable. So I would definitely recommend to people testing out the different methods of stretching and testing out the different jewellery, because it's saved me a lot of discomfort and I am really happy with my ears now. Couple of other things I wanted to mention are I tend to massage my ears every day. There are different things you can use, and there will be websites that tell you what is best and give you recommendations. Jojoba ear oil is a really popular one. I have got some. I don't really use it too much because I actually really like Holy Butter, which I found online, and if my ears ever do get slightly uncomfortable or I want to insert new jewellery, I just tend to get a tiny little bit of this and give my ears a nice massage. It helps keep blood flow and to just lubricate your ears, because you don't really want to be putting dry jewellery in and out because it can, you know, pull a little bit. So I would recommend finding a product that you like, make sure that you're okay with the ingredients, and that it's, you know, sort of recommended for use. I mean, you know, I don't ever really feel there's anything wrong with putting a bit of E45 or something like that on your skin because it's just, you know, healthy, but just read up on what you think is best for you. Again, I'm not going to go too in depth with this because I've only really used a couple of products myself. I know there are certain products that shouldn't be used. I've been told Vaseline's not a good one. That's not something I ever use myself anyway. I think it can sort of harbour bacteria. I'm not too sure, but yeah, just make sure that what you're using is recommended, maybe by your piercer or by a piercing website, because it does just help keep your ears very clean. I wash mine every day because you will get a build-up of skin and they can be quite smelly, as you may or may not be aware of. So yeah, just keep them very clean and keep them massaged, and then they'll be happy. So another question that I think people ask a lot, and just for information really, is why do people stretch their ears? That's not really something I can answer for people in general, because there will probably be different reasons why people stretch their ears. I mean, I think mostly in this day and age it's going to be aesthetic. It's very fashionable, which I think is concerning because I think people aren't considering what they're doing too much before they do it. So I'd say if you're thinking of doing it for fashion purposes only, think about, you know, are your tastes going to change and is the fashion going to change? But I mean, I really like the way it looks. I like the jewellery that I can wear. I think it gives a lot of options and a lot of different looks. And I've got some of my jewellery here just to show you. I mean, I'm sort of favouring these at the moment. They're very, very comfy and very pretty. You can get different shapes. So I've got some really nice teardrops here. They do create a little bit of a different look. So I will just show you. We'll just pop one in. Let's see. So hopefully you can sort of see the difference there. You can get a nice look with different earrings. What I love to do is I love to wear something a little bit like this, anything that's hollow, and then put another earring through. You can buy some lovely, lovely jewellery on the internet, which has a sort of wider, thinner wire so that it can go through a stretched piercing. It creates a really nice effect and it's lovely for dressing up. The other thing are ear weights. I mean, mine aren't too heavy. These are actually the only pair I have at the moment, but I really love them. They're very, very comfortable, contrary to what you might think. They don't feel uncomfortable, they don't pull down too much, and they don't hurt, but they just create a bit of a different look again. Which also reminds me to mention, some websites will say that one method of stretching is to use ear weights. Personally, I don't think that's a good idea, and I've come across a lot of other websites who agree that it's not a method for stretching. When you're stretching a piercing, you want the entire circumference to be stretched because you want all of the skin to expand and grow, so that you don't end up with any thin parts of your ear. If you're going to use weights to stretch your ear, all the weight is focused on the bottom of the ear, and that bit of skin is going to get very thin. It doesn't look pleasant, and I have heard stories of people who have gotten to quite a large size and then have actually had the bottom of their ear snap, or they've just not been able to get to the size that they want to get to because they no longer have enough skin to do that. So please don't think that a good way of stretching is to weight your ears down, because it's really not. I only really wear my weights maybe sort of once a week. I'm sure other people will wear them more and not have any problems, but I don't want to go down the route of them stretching my ears at all. So yeah, just bear that in mind. I think I've sort of covered everything that I wanted to cover. I don't know if anybody's really going to watch this, because as I say, it's my first YouTube video, but if you do think I've said anything that isn't quite right, or maybe I've left anything out, I'm happy to have comments. Just to reiterate, everything that I'm saying in this video is my opinion. There is no one set way of doing it. There are probably going to be people with way more stretching experience than me that would have a lot more to add or would change what I'm saying. I think what I just really wanted to get across is that it's really important to think about what you're doing. There is nothing wrong with stretching your ears, but it's just not something to be taken lightly, and you do need to really take care of your ears when you're doing it, because you don't want to cause tearing, you don't want to give yourself a blowout, and it's just not nice to go around with sore ears either. So the more you look after them, the kinder they will be to you. And in terms of buying nice jewellery, a lot of people will go to the local piercer. If they have a really good piercing studio near them, they probably will sell good jewellery. It's always good to support your local piercer as well. If, like me, you don't have any nearby you at all, and I'm talking, I don't think I could even find somewhere to drive to, there are a lot of really good websites as well, so just make sure you know what size you are and that you're buying a good quality item. In terms of the acrylics, I think they're fine to wear occasionally. Personally, I find I get a lot of discomfort when I wear them, so I don't bother with them now, but I think if you're going to wear them every now and then just for a day, I don't think there's a problem with that. You can get a lot of designs, so you may want to get some, but I would say overall try to steer clear of them, try to go for the wood or stone or glass, and you still have a vast array of options available to you there. You may want to get some calipers just to help you keep track of your jewellery, and so that you know what size you're putting in. When you're buying handmade items, sometimes the sizing can vary, so you don't want to be trying to force something in your ear that's a little bit too big, but also just listen to what your body's telling you, because if it doesn't want to go in, it doesn't want to go in, don't force it. I think that's everything, so I hope this has been of some help. Thank you.